Hi, the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. What a game. Um, the Baltimore Ravens came in as underdogs playing in Foxborough against New England. Um, New England has a reputation of not losing to the same team twice, especially at home. Um, the game in the beginning, most of the talk was about Ray Lewis, his retirement. There were questions as to why he announced his retirement when he did. Was it self-serving, or was it to give some type of certainty to the team that they can move on in that position and not have to worry about, what he was going to do the following year. After 17 years in the league, um, there comes a time to where your body wears down and you start to slow down and you have to move on to other things. So that was a heavy topic going into this game. Also, there's a topic of legacy, talking about the Patriots, Tom Brady's legacy, things of that nature. Um, these were all things that was brought up in the beginning leading up to the game. And also Bill Belichick. What would his legacy be? Um, how would the New England Patriots be able to continue their string of success? Being that the last two Super Bowls they were in, they lost to the New York Giants after having good years. But how can you dispute a team as good as the Patriots have been over the last 12 years? 12 years of winning records. A lot of teams don't have that kind of success that close together. Uh, they have 12 years total in some of their history, but to have 12 years in a row of winning records, there was one year where the Patriots were 11-5 and didn't make the playoffs. Need something to think about, huh? Well, during the game, there were some things that happened. One thing really in particular that wasn't talked about during the game. It wasn't talked about immediately after the game and the post-game commentary and things like that. It was talked about the next day on one radio station, Whitney Johnson. And the point that he brought up was you had a man get hit helmet to helmet, knocked out before he hit the ground. There was no flag. There was no discussion about it. Only thing they were talking about was who recovered the fumble. This guy's on the ground, how injured he is. Guys jumping all over the place. Somebody could have jumped on top of him and hurt him even worse than what it was. But nothing was said about it. There was no flag. Again, no discussion. It took the next day for Whitney Johnson on his radio show to address that situation. And I think that's ludicrous. Here's a guy that was injured seriously, has a concussion, but for some people they were just more into who got the loose ball. Well, at that point, even to myself, the loose ball wasn't important. There was no tweets about it. If you checked Twitter and kept up with it through the night, as I did, everything was about the offenses, the defenses, the coaching, special teams. Patriot fans, Benton, people that predicted that the Ravens would have a good game because of the inspiration that they were receiving from Ray Lewis. I think that watching the game, seeing how things turned out, I think it was a well played game by the Ravens. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. They disrupted the timing of the Patriots. They didn't let Tom Brady get comfortable. They kept hands in his face. They hit him. At times, he wouldn't even have the ball. They hit him, but they got close enough to him. And that's what you do to a good quarterback, to try to disrupt their rhythm. And they did everything that they were supposed to do to win the game. With the Patriots, a lot of drop passes. So you can't put this on Tom Brady because he's not the reason Wes Welker dropped passes. He's not the reason that the offensive line submitted to the Ravens defensive line. Okay, he's not the reason for that. Now, some of the passes that he did throw that hit the dirt, that were overthrown or throw behind, well, that's Tom Brady's fault. But at the same time, those same passes that he throw when they win, that's not a topic of conversation. Only thing that's talked about is how great Tom Brady is. So these are things that were overlooked. I mean, speaking on the hit, that shouldn't have been overlooked. Because I think that was a very important moment in the game where a flag should have been thrown, but it wasn't. There was a pass interference that should have been thrown, an offensive pass interference against Baltimore that wasn't thrown. Aqib Talib, he got hurt, and I'm not sure that they would have won even if he didn't get hurt. Because you have to remember, for a long portion of the game, he was in the game, and they never really had a lot of success stopping the Baltimore offense. But there's always next year. The Patriots, they always find a way to get back into it. They always find a way to stay in contention, and I don't see why it would be any different next year. As for social media, everybody was changing. You would hear some people say, okay, the Patriots on the way, especially early on in the game. And then as things started to unwind and unfold, some of those same people would come back, and it's almost like they would jump off the Patriots bandwagon and jump on Baltimore's bandwagon. But that's what happens. I think it was a good game. It was an entertaining game, and it's good to see somebody fresh in the Super Bowl. See, now you have the Harbaugh brothers. This is unheard of. 2 head coaches that are brothers in the Super Bowl. 2 head coaches that were in the conference championship the year before. Both teams, the 49ers and the Ravens. And now both of them are in the Super Bowl. There was a rematch in the AFC, and the NFC didn't get to a rematch because the Giants didn't make it, as we all know, didn't make the playoffs. So we didn't have to worry about that one. But I think it was an awesome game. I think it was a very entertaining game, and I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. So, with that said, I'd like to thank you all for viewing my video, and I hope you have a nice day. Thanks a lot.